Welcome to the Flagship studio here at the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference. I am delighted to be joined in the studio by Margo Georgiadis, the CEO of Montai Therapeutics. Margo, great to see you.
Great to be here with you, Lindy.
So, Margo, you are going from platform promise to clinic-ready reality this year. Tell us a little bit about the evolution of the platform over the last year and your lead program.
Yeah, Lindy, it's when we build these platforms as innovators at the intersection of tech and biotech, ultimately the goal is to get programs to patients. It's not about the technology, it's about the patient. And so we're excited to take our first program to the clinic this year, and then we have 3 additional programs in the clinic in the next 18 months.
Wow.
So that's really exciting for our team. Our first program is a Nrf2 agonist. We actually agonize Nrf2 by targeting KEAP1, which is a pathway in biology, and it's really one of the most important pathways in immunology.
Okay.
It actually underpins many different diseases. We're focused first on ulcerative colitis, which is a really debilitating disease for 30 million patients around the world. 70% of them are underserved. We have a lot of wonderfully approved therapies. Unfortunately, remission rates in the industry remain stubbornly low. So we're excited to bring forward the first therapy that can target all 3 underlying drivers of disease. So today, the therapies that are approved are really anti-inflammatories.
Okay.
But our pathway enables us to target all 3 underlying drivers of disease.
And why is this the first candidate for Montai? Why does this make sense for where you've pointed the platform and what you can deliver?
So when we created Montai, our goal was to be able to drug the hardest targets in immunology and eventually across chronic disease with once daily orals. And we had a hypothesis that nature had written chemistry in its vast, diverse richness that was not systematically mined and was a source of potential great medicines. And so we spent several years curating the world's largest understanding of this diverse chemistry. It's 99% differentiated from where the rest of the industry is focused. And then we use accelerated compute and leading edge AI to be able to precision match that to pathways with efficiency. So that's enabling us to open up solutions for pathways that people really didn't think were possible. And Nrf2 is one of those. We really need to drug it selectively to be able to offer a once daily oral to a broad population. There are actually 2 approved therapies on the same pathway. One for MS and one for Friedreich's ataxia, but neither of those medications, either because of side effects or bioavailability, so you have to take it 3 times a day, were appropriate for a large indication. So we're excited to finally bring that to patients.
So it's a clinically validated pathway, but you have a novel approach for it based on inspiration from nature.
That's it. We've harnessed nature's intelligence to bring forward a highly selective, potent, once daily oral for UC, and then there's actually a lot of applications in GI, derm, and respiratory as well for this pathway. So we're very excited. We actually have 2 programs on this pathway that can be taken to different diseases.
So almost like a pipeline in a pill type of a model.
Exactly. We see this a lot with biologics. We also believe this is possible for once daily orals for the same pathways.
Well, that would be very exciting. Margo, what preclinical data do you have that gives you the confidence to advance this program into human testing? You talked about the 3 underlying drivers of disease, but tell us a little bit about what gave you the confidence to move forward.
Absolutely. So we were excited to present at the ACAA conference this year our full data package for this. And whenever you're advancing a medicine to patients, we obviously want to make sure that the drug is doing what we want it to do. And animal models are a great way to do that. So we did human cells where we really see the impact on T cells, as well as all the cytokines that drive to the disease. Then we went into animal models, both mice and cynos, to be able to demonstrate that we can actually perform the same or better than the biologics. And that's what's really exciting for patients. And we chose the models we did because it enabled us to show our impact on all 3 underlying drivers of disease. So we actually do a histology of the colon where you can actually see the restorative, reparative effect to that, which will really be wonderful for patients because we can not just dampen down the inflammation, but we can actually improve the underlying mucosal lining issues, epithelial repair, oxidative stress that enable us to break that efficacy ceiling. That's really our goal for patients.
That's great. I have a sister with ulcerative colitis. I can relate to how
it's such a
transformative that will
debilitating
be.
disease, yeah.
Yep. Margo, you said before that this particular program and the 3 that you have behind it could only have come from Montai's platform. Can you tell us a little bit, take us under the hood as to why that's possible?
So when we create innovations in biotech, I think one of the most important things we focused on is how do we solve the hardest problems? How do we do something that's truly original? So at Montai, what we're really focusing on is transcription factors, biologic replacements, targets that have historically been viewed as undruggable by small molecules, particularly to do them potent, selective, and safe for large chronic diseases. And so we've selected 5 targets. We actually advanced 12 originally to demonstrate the power of the platform across I&I, and then as a small company, we then are advancing 5 of those therapies that cut across I&I to later stage diseases. And that diverse chemistry we've demonstrated consistently is the source of new binding pockets, novel binding pockets, and whole different modalities that the industry had never even considered for those targets. So our approach to that diverse chemistry and our AI precision matching system enables us to uncover molecular glues, covalent binders, allostatic modifiers, protein-protein inhibitors for the first time for small molecules. That's something that was a big breakthrough. We have 2 programs where we have protein-protein inhibitors for small molecules. And so that's really what we live for, is being able to demonstrate that nature wrote chemistry for a reason. We're able to find those precision matches, do it mechanism agnostic for the first time.
Margo, let's double click on the platform. You've made some big gains in the last year on both the chemistry and also the capabilities of the platform. Describe those for us and what that now enables you to do.
So we're really focused on innovation in 3 areas. The first is the chemistry. So this year we went from 200 million to 1 billion molecules.
Huge jump.
That for us was really about how do we cover a wider range of diverse scaffold space and be able to access that with efficiency, because that's what it opens it for great drug development. So these are all drug-like molecules, do not have a lot of Lipinski rule of 5 violations. They're accessible in 3 or less retrosynthetic steps. Second was a new release of our multimodal AI models. So what we're constantly doing is driving precision and our ability to rank. So the larger that chemistry set gets, the more precise we have to be in ranking on mechanism chemistry that's as close to our target candidate profile as possible. And that's what makes it efficient. And that's what increases probability of success. So together, those capabilities are enabling us to solve targets with a speed and efficiency that really is exciting for the team.
And it sounds like those gains are starting to pay off. If you look at the productivity of the platform and now the pipeline that you're bringing forward. That's terrific.
Exactly. So not only do we have our own pipeline, but we also have a partnership with Pfizer in oncology. And this was a target they tried to drug for 10 years, and in 10 months, we were able to identify solutions. And so it really is enabling us, when we have a partnership commitment, right? It's not a black box. We work in a very collaborative way, and it's exciting to be able to deliver great medicines on time, on budget as well.
That's terrific. Well, let's talk about that. So we live in an asset-loving world these days. Tell us how you are thinking about your priorities in that reality, based on you can do so many different things with the platform, but we really have to deliver, like you said, for patients. How are you thinking about your priorities?
Yeah, there's no question that the investment landscape the last 2 to 3 years has really veered towards a focus on assets. I think for us, if you are a really innovative platform that has high repeat rate with efficiency in delivering assets, I still think there's a big market for that. The one decision that we've spent a lot of time on is the quality of the assets. So we focus on the most important targets that have the broadest application, that are the most sought after by the industry. And I think by advancing 5 of those targets to later stages, to DC and the clinic, really demonstrates what's possible from this approach. That's what gives investors the excitement to invest. So the investors are really backing the assets. We have to make the platform repeatable. That also enables us to have partnerships, because 5 assets is a lot for a small company. So we plan to take 2 or 3 of those to the clinic ourselves, and we'll partner 2 of those assets. That will help us gain access to additional capital to continue to advance new assets. So with all the advances in the platform, as a company, it's a big priority for us, not just to take things to the clinic, but also launch the next generation so we can show the benefits of those advancements.
Well, it sounds very exciting, Margo. You really are moving this platform forward and moving towards a place where you're bringing some real gains to patients. And looking forward to the year ahead for you.
Thank you. You know, at the end of the day, you know, it's all about the patient, and our team is so excited to bring
Very
therapies
exciting.
into the clinic. Thank you.